Welcome YouTube fans, Soaring Hammer fans. It's Ithaca here, and I am doing a video as an addition to an awesome tutorial done by Stealth from TheHeroTutorials. Be sure to check him out on YouTube. And pretty much what this tutorial is going to be a comparison video for Epoxamite 101 and Smoothcast 321. Two materials which Stealth does use for his products, one for in and one for out, and so on and so forth. And he has done videos explaining both, but there have been a lot of questions in the comment section about information on the two, such as price, comparisons, and this is what this video is going to be for. And Smooth-On products can be bought on smoothon.com, or you can go to Reynolds. Let's talk about the Epoxamite 101. The difference between the two with this and Smoothcast 321 is this is a laminating epoxy. Okay, it's a 1:4 mixture versus Smoothcast 321, which is a urethane plastic, and it's a 1:1 mixture. One you'll need a scale for, one you just need equal measurements for. Color, you have a clear yellow with the Epoxamite 101. Smoothcast 321 is, let me make sure I'm correct on this, is an off-white. Okay, the reason I have to specify the color is because there is 320, 321, 322, which are all off-whites, different specs, and there's also 300, which is a very white. So we're discussing 321. All right, the difference between 321 and 320, 322. Sorry, I'm throwing a bunch of numbers at you. The difference in them is the curing time. That is the only difference. Pot life and demold time is the difference. Composition strength is the same. Tensile strength, viscosity, shore hardness, all the same. So 321 gives you a little bit more time than the 320, but less time than the 322. So you kind of see where the numbers go there. Other than that, they're the same product. Okay, back over to this. Let's go with the color we're talking about here. The Epoxamite 101, you can't add dyes to it, but you can add fillers such as Urafil 3, Urafil 7. You can also add what's called fumed silica, and that's for a gel coat application, along with the two fillers I was discussing. Smoothcast 321, you can add, they sell dyes here on Smooth-On, and you can add any form of dye that they sell. Dyes can be added as long as they're mixed properly. Application. I'll talk about application for a little bit. The Epoxamite 101 is more of a brush-on product because it is a laminating epoxy, not a urethane resin. There's a big difference in application. So this is more of a brush-on. The Smoothcast 321 was intended for molding, such as slush casting, box molds, things like that. But tutorials have shown that you can use the same material to strengthen your product by coating it prior to all the molding. Okay, so the urethane resin is primarily made for casting out of molds, but you can strengthen your products with it. If you brush it on, 321 is actually good for brushing on because you have 30 minutes for demold time, which means you got 30 minutes for it to cure. 7-minute pot life. That means in 7 minutes, what's in your cup is going to harden within 7 minutes, about 7 minutes, give or take, depending on temperature, because they are both affected by temperature. The hotter it is, the faster it's going to flash. All right, so you can brush on the Smoothcast 320 and you have 30 minutes for it to harden. Now, here's the big difference between the Epoxamite 101 and the Smoothcast 321. The Epoxamite 101 is 6 to 8 hours demold time, 11 minutes pot life. So you have 11 minutes before it will harden inside your cup, but you have to wait 6 to 8 hours for this to cure. With this being a brush on, you can brush it on the outside. 6 to 8 hours later, it will cure. From that point, if you follow some other tutorials that Stealth had done, you'll see that he had used an adhesive to put the fiberglass inside the helmet, and then he brushes in his resin. But you can also brush in this epoxamite, and I believe he's going to do a tutorial on this too. You can brush in the epoxamite 101 inside the helmet, over the resin, over the fiberglass as well. Smooth Cast 321, you can actually slush cast, meaning you can mix it up, put it in a cup, pour it into the helmet itself, and you can slush cast it around like you were if you were going to do a slush cast mold. You can also do the fiberglass like Stealth likes to do, and then slush cast or brush in the Smooth Cast 321, and it will have the same effect, but stronger solely on the fiberglass. It's a very key point right there. Now, we're going to get into a little bit about the strength with the two products. Okay, there's two things you have to take into consideration when it comes to how your product's going to hold up. One is your tensile strength and your shore hardness. The composition strength, tensile strength, and the shore hardness vary between the two. The epoxamite 101 has a composition strength of 11,550 psi. Okay, the tensile strength is 7,930 psi. Now the shore hardness is 84D. You're all looking at me right now like, what is he talking about with these numbers, and how does it pertain to me? The composition strength is your overall strength as far as if you were to try to compress something slowly. Tensile strength is if you were to try to pull it apart, and your shore hardness determines your impact. Okay? The harder an object is, if you were to drop it, it can have less strength on impact. Meaning, if you have a rubber ball versus a plastic ball, and you drop them both, the plastic ball will probably have a shore hardness of 84D, and then the rubber ball might have a shore hardness of 5D. So it's a lot. The number's a lot lower. So when you drop the one with the lower amount of shore hardness, it can absorb the impact a lot better than the higher shore hardness. I hope that's easily understood right there. So for shore hardness, we have 84D with the epoxamite 101, and we have 70D with the Smooth Cast 321. The epoxamite has a tensile strength of 7,930 psi, which is tensile strength per square inch. Now, if you go over to Smooth Cast 321, this only has 3,100 psi. So it's 3,100 tensile strength per square inch. So it is more than doubled. The tensile strength itself is more than doubled with the epoxamite, which makes it stronger tensile strength, which means the pull ratio is a lot stronger for the epoxamite 101. The composition strength, which is the compression strength, it's 11,550 psi, whereas your Smooth Cast 321 is only 4,500. Huge difference. Once again, the price is the last factor that you need to take into consideration when it comes to both these products. Now the the epoxamite 101, which is the fast, is 81.80 per gallon. Smooth Cast 321 for a gallon is 82.83. So you're looking at $1 more, and that dollar should not be a factor as far as which one to choose. Alright, so let's go over pros and cons here. We got the epoxamite 101 on the left, and we have the Smooth Cast 321 on the right. Price is a tie, 1-to-1. Strength is better with the epoxamite 101 than it is with the Smooth Cast 321. So, 2-to-1. The mixing ratio is a lot easier with the Smooth Cast 321 than it is the epoxamite 101. 2-to-2. Looking at the ability to change the material tie with the Epoxamite 101 and the Smooth Cast 321, because one you can add dye to, and the other one you can add other materials such as the fillers. So you can alter both. And they are different substances, so that's a hard one to compare, so let's go to 101. So we are 3 with 3. Demold time. This is a big issue right here for me. Demold time. 6 to 8 hours for one, half an hour for the other. 3 to 4. Price. Let's go with 4 to 5 because they're about even on price. And not last but not least, the ability to use the product for multiple things. It would be easier to have the Smoothcast 321 on hand because you could laminate the product with it. You could reinforce the inside with the fiberglass or with the product itself to reinforce the inside and strength, overall durability, and you can cast with it from your molds versus the Epoxamite 101, which is primarily only good for laminating the outside and the inside. You cannot cast with it. So Smoothcast 321 has an all-around better functionality. So you're looking at 4 to 6. So in my little study here, my personal opinion, I would have to say 321 that Stealth uses from smoothon.com is an overall easier, better product to use than the Epoxamite 101. Now if you want sheer strength, you have the time, and you only want to reinforce your product, then please choose the Epoxamite 101 because for that purpose it is better. Smoothcast 321 is better for all around. So this is Ithaca from SortingHammer.com, and remember, if we can do it, so can you.